Hello and welcome back to Downtime Activities, and welcome back to Skygate, our 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons campaign that takes part almost entirely underground and currently in the Underdark. Last time, you all had consorted with the dark and mysterious Alhoom, known as Kafix, who gave you a task to complete in order to get some much-needed information. This task is to explore an abandoned Mind Flayer laboratory in order to try and find a strange tadpole-like entity creature inside of there in a kind of frozen state of some sort that he wants for whatever reasons. Yes.
Can we ask Kafix about the rogue experiment? Like, does he know anything of, like, what its danger, what its capabilities are? Is it just a big bitey thing? Or does it throw fireballs? Does it try to...
He will say that his understanding is that this facility's goal was to expand the options of application for tadpole insertion in a wider variety of creatures. Yes.
When we leave, I'm going to use my telekinesis to open the door.
Okay.
Show off that I can do it too.
You do so. It seems to acknowledge this. You go ahead and roll me a perception too. Roll me a perception.
I'm so good at these.
Don't enter into a mental dick measuring
17.
contest with a Mind Flayer.
17.
You will lose.
It acknowledges, like, it notices this, and will give a kind of look to you as you do it. I assume you kind of like make eye contact because you're doing it just to show that you can. And you feel a sort of like link mind connection. He doesn't say anything, do anything. There's no like threat to it, but it feels very easy and natural. It feels like something in the nature of what is in your bloodline easily resonates with whatever is in his psionic ability as well.
Yeah, I'll like do a connection the other way because I can do that too.
Yeah.
So I won't say
You do that,
anything.
it's-
I'll just do the same thing
Yeah.
back to him.
And he'll just nod once to you. And it seems there's an acknowledgement there. It's weird. It's like it's not a conversation. It's almost like you have somehow naturally known how to like give a thumbs up to somebody who a thumbs up means like a good thing without culturally being a part of that at all. Like there's some sort of like natural language you speak that it understands.
Oh god.
We're friends now.
Theagar's actually a Mind Flayer.
Well, it sounds like he's descended from either a Mind Flayer or a Mind Flayer experiment.
Yeah.
Congrats, you're
It
married.
feels easy and natural to connect with this odd, unhinged creature.
I like him slightly more now.
Okay, cool.
And he's
I don't think you liked him very much before, so I don't know if that means you really even like him yet, but hey, we're
he's
making progress.
tolerant of you.
Oh, that's why
but-
they've been calling him Theagar Mind Flayer experiments. But all as one word.
All right, but with that, unless there's anything else you are all wanting to do, you are able to, or anything else you're wanting to ask him. He says that he does not know the nature of what exactly was the entity deemed worth insertion that was the problem that shut down the facility. A wide variety of creatures were experimented on and used as part of the development of this
It's
experiment.
gonna be like one of like the worst monsters. you
An
can find in
ancient
any
red
adventure.
dragon, Mind Flayer powers.
I think that's a thing in D&D lore somewhere.
No, it's not with a Mind Flayer tadpole. There is. Don't worry about it. No plans for the future. Don't look into that. None of you look into that.
So that's what we're gonna be up against.
What
But it's
it's-
just got Mind Flayer.
What it's gonna be is the joke Erickson and I had when we started our 2-player Baldur's Gate game about because there's old jokes about people like keeping their brain in their ass. So it's like that's where the Mind Flayer stuck a parasite. So the tentacles just sprout out his ass. It's just like it's just gonna be that guy, and it just made all the other Mind Flayers so uncomfortable. Like they just abandoned the facility and locked the door.
Anytime it goes to talk to us, it turns around and shows us his ass.
It's literally Ace Ventura Pet Detective when he turns around, he spreads his cheeks and talks to people. But it's a tentacle and like beak mouth coming out of it.
Hey, how's it
Ooh,
Are we
ooh,
gonna
I don't like it.
Are we gonna talk to Thibblethib? No, we don't talk about Thibblethib.
We don't talk about people.
You know, maybe we should
All
just
right,
abandon the facility and lock the door on the way out.
So the group of you are going to be on this trek, and for the sake of this path, it'll take you probably between 1 and 2 weeks if you're moving at a quick pace. You will not have to make survival checks to not get lost because you have a perfect mental map. If you're the person leading this, no check is required for you to. It's literally like, you know, when it's like your drive home from work. After you've worked somewhere for like 10 years, you're just like, if there was another traffic, I could probably literally do this with my eyes closed. Where you're just like, you know, every turn to make it feels like a natural path to you.
In that case, I will.
Unless there's any specific.
Yeah, in that case, I think I'll spend my time. Like, I'll probably move ahead and kind of mark out the route in chalk, and then spend my time foraging until the caravan catches up, if that makes sense. If I don't have to like worry about navigating.
Another option is you can move faster if you want, since you are not having to map it out. If you want to be the person to forage, you can, but you can move. You can have the whole group move at a quicker pace, and you continue that pace and still scout ahead. If you prefer to do that, it's kind of if you want to be the one to forage, yes, and they will probably not be as good at foraging if you do it this way because they're going to be moving at a quick pace instead of a normal pace. They won't. I don't know if you even can forage if you do that, but you'll be moving like much quicker.
Yeah, let's just move at a fast pace then. I think.
Okay. That'll cut it down. For the sake of this, it'll just be day rolls. So, Jared, roll me d20.
17.
Okay, roll me another d20. A d20. Another d20.
13.
Okay. Roll one more time. One more d20 for me.
Whatever it is, it's slightly confused.
It's a 10.
Okay. Okay.
Punish you. Oh no, it's the butt leeches.
The heck is this? Okay.
The butt shock.
Hey, roll me a perception check, Candle. You're able to actively look in your surroundings.
22.
22. As you're moving through the Underdark, out ahead, scouting for your group, even with advantage, doesn't beat 22, you can tell that a cluster of rock in your path has an octopus camouflaging itself up against it.
An octopus?
A giant octopus, like a large-sized octopus.
Does it notice our bird friend?
It is dark, so it does not.
What? How to get rid of it?
Now, is this calamari, or is this?
Oh, yeah.
demon?
If we kill it. Yeah, if we kill it, can we eat it? I could use rare. If we kill it, I could use rare frost and preserve it.
some dry freezed octopus.
I could use Upper's Fire and then it would just cook itself.
I don't think you should fight it by yourself.
Probably not.
What you doing?
Just doing all the way up here.
Like-
in the Underdark is floating.
Yeah, and you're probably gonna have to come back and warn us because if we're not caught up with you,
Yeah.
you may want to keep our
Giant octopus is in like sort of how giant? Like this could sink a ship. If there
Large
were a ship
size.
down here. Large size?
like
An
horse
octopus
size?
the size of a horse.
So horse-sized octopus.
Horrifying.
Slime the size of a horse, octopus the size of a horse.
Why
It
is
seems to
everything
be
the size of a
like
horse?
horse the size
ambush predator mode, right?
Badger.
The only thing we ever see is a horse the size of a horse.
of? I guess I'll report back to the group and see what everybody wants to do. If they want to just
Okay.
try and
Since you've noticed it, you can circumvent it if you want.
Yeah.
You could get around this thing.
you want to go
could-
around?
Well,
circumvent it.
yeah. Can we know? Do we know if this thing? Like, do you know what this is? Can we roll like a nature to know like how dangerous this thing is? If it's like, oh, that's
Sure.
like cave octopus. They're goody. You know? Or is it like, oh yeah, don't do that.
They're essentially a pest predator.
Does that octopus have
That would be a
feelings?
10 on nature.
It's weird that it's on land. You know that giant octopi like this do live in some of the larger underground, like watery caverns in this place that have connections to other water thoroughfares. It's weird that it's like living and thriving on land and ambush predatoring on land. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
It's like
It's
those.
adapted to do so.
It's like those little tree octopi in Florida that come out of the water and climb trees. I mean, it would be good eating.
And that probably give us like another day or two of food if it's that big.
If it doesn't kill us,
Yeah.
we have no idea what we're walking into here.
Must be-
You would know that, like a person, the risk that these things could kill a person, and that there's some risk going to large bodies of water. That like if you're going there to like get a drink of water and are unaware, it might grab and pull you in and kill you. Like it's a thing that could happen in the Underdark. You're not sure like a whole group of people fighting one, knowing it's there. It's more of an ambush predator, you think?
I think we could probably take it.
All right. Well, if that's what the expert says, then let's gang up and get the jump on the jumper.
Go ahead and so you guys are gonna try and sneak up on it.
I think so.
Pass
Yeah,
without
sure.
trace. Everyone
Go ahead and roll me
adds
the
10
stealth
to
check.
their stealth roll, which is good because some of you are rolling with disadvantage. Most of you are rolling with disadvantage.
Actually,
Well, that was good either way. That's a 24 for
nice.
the. Actually, 25 for the stealth.
I rolled 11. I have plus 6 to stealth too.
So, and then plus 10 with Will's positive trace. So 21 for Jocelyn.
21 for me.
I have a 24.
Okay,
I have a 25.
nice,
23.
nice,
27.
nice,
31.
nice. So all of you are going to be able to sneak up pretty close to this thing.
Is our
for the
is
sake
our,
of
is our old dragonborn friend accompanying us?
oh, that's enough.
On our
Forget
hunting
about
trip?
Sir Daldramus Hansen. If you let's see here. Luckily, you gave him a plus 10. If this, he will be the first one to kind of do like a tally-ho jump and strike at this thing. You guys, knowing where it was looking, like you were able to get up close to this thing and have a good idea. For the sake of brevity, I'm not going to make you guys roll out a combat with this thing because it is not that scary. And with 7 of you attacking it with like a sneak attack, it not seeing you coming, you will easily be able to dispatch this. And at range, if you should choose to do so, which it cannot fight back against. It's an ambush predator, and it does not get damaged.
It's got a hand crossbow. And
It's got 8 hand crossbows.
Make that an enemy.
An octopus with 8 hand crossbows.
It can't move, but it's a fucking like turret, stationary turret.
every like a lone adventurer, like a lone guard or something, would wander into range of that thing, and they'd be like Sonny in The Godfather.
But you guys will be able to chop this thing up and make a couple days' meals out of it.
While they're butchering it, I would like to kind of scout around the area and see if I can find a body of water that it might have come from.
Okay. No roll required. In this immediate area, you do not find one.
Weird.
But they say
The water's rising.
there's a sea.
And a giant is throwing rocks and filling the sea.
Interesting.
It's one of them cave octopuses.
Weird.
Okay,
Nice.
I just have to ask, how jazzed is our dragonborn companion about like?
He's like,
Or is he just-
it seems like he like runs up and like he charges it. By the time he gets up to it, you've already killed it with Eldritch Blast and ice bolts and shit like that. So it's really just kind of sticking a rapier into an already dead thing, and he's kind of just like, not much fun in that at all. Sheath this rapier.
What a bitch.
That was, if I do say so myself, some bitch made shit.
I like this guy. Well, onwards. Following my brain map.
Carry on.
All right. Onwards and forwards. You guys will rest for a night, and the next morning you will continue on. Give me another d20 roll.
I'll do it.
Brain map sounds like
13.
stuff.
13. Nothing happens.
Kind of does, yeah.
Good day's travel. Again, your guys are able to move quickly and without any sort of rolls required because of the no rations used today either. You'll get 2 days of everybody's rations from that octopus. And next day we'll kind of just keep moving. So let's get another d20 roll.
14.
14.
Thresholds.
Thresholds? Thresholds? Question
We're
mark?
gonna learn the password on random encounters.
I still think if we roll
14, you say. Roll me a d20.
No.
That is the threshold.
That's the threshold. So anything 13 and below.
3.
3 butt leeches.
3 giant octopi.
On land.
During your travel this day, you go through a cavern that is occupied by clusters of quartz and other crystals that give off kind of a slight glow.
Let's
Are
pick
they
some
worth
up.
any money?
Probably.
Probably.
Yeah. Can I roll
Give me a nature check,
nature check?
Underdark related, if that matters to you.
Can I do a detect magic as well?
7.
Damn.
Sure. 7, you said?
Yep.
Okay.
I don't know shit about rocks.
Some sort of fancy rock.
They magic?
They are somewhat magic. Yes.
Ooh.
Does anyone got
Put them in the cart.
got a pickaxe?
Yeah.
Mine look bad, boys.
Can you put some fancy rocks in the bags?
Yeah,
They
that's-
feel a little like they're quartz-like crystals that give off a faint glow. You'll be able to, if you spend a little bit of time carving away at them, you'll be able to get a total of 12. Someone mark that down.
Mark that.
You can say like 12 glow quartz or something along those lines. They seem somewhat brittle in your hands, but you're not sure apart from that. It seems like if you like threw it against the ground, it would shatter. It's not like super hard gemstone.
How interesting.
Well, shiny rock.
Yep, I got it written down. You should
On
rank
to the
one
next
for
day?
Science?
No.
Those
Maybe.
are worth a lot of money.
No, okay.
If you do, definitely don't do it at your own feet.
like a smoke bomb.
Huh.
Hopefully they don't do that. They jostle around the cart and the cart just explodes.
Did you put them in the cart or in the portable hole?
Let's do the portable hole since they're brittle.
Do you drop them in the portable hole or do you like gently set them down?
I just fucking sling them in there, boy.
He jumps too to really get.
You like Gronk spike against the ground.
What did I miss? What are we spiking now?
We found some crystals.
Okay.
Don't do anything if you throw them against the ground. Next day, roll a d20.
I shall take responsibility for one of these.
All right.
14.
14. Roll me another d20.
1.
Go chair.
Oh,
Go chair.
interesting.
I got a baby tango in the freezer in there. Maybe.
Justin shows up because I rolled a.
Justin Fay knocks on my front door.
A fey creature named Justin appears.
Justin
You
Justin
will.
Buffet.
You guys will be able to march through fairly normal day. Nearing the end of your day's travel, you will go into a kind of more narrow cavern that has a side branch to it that's low but short to enter into a bigger cavern. It's not the main path, but you can tell, like, glancing through it, that there is quite a bit of what looks like remains near the mouth of the cavern. Bones and stuff sticking out. It's also getting fairly close to your time to make camp. So you kind of, if you want to not be near what it looks like maybe the cave of some sort of predator or something along those lines.
Look at the bones.
Look at the bones.
Bones.
I could have my raven poke his head in there and see if there's anything spooky.
Pokes his head in,
Probably-
gets immediately
Yeah.
bitten.
I think we should probably just keep moving
Okay.
for a while.
Yeah, call it a longer day and just move along.
Okay. Give a little bit bigger gap from that, and then you'll go to sleep a little later, but that's not a big deal. You guys will still be able to get a long rest, and you leave that behind.
Yeah.
Onward and forward.
But what
Do a D20 roll.
of 420 men strewn about its lair. It is, yeah, maybe it is just a rabbit. That'd have been a great encounter.
I mean, it would be a TPK, but you know.
Hey, Sklur, roll a D20.
I haven't done one of these today, so I know it's gonna be the worst. 11.
11, nothing happens.
Look at that.
Another day's travel goes by smoothly. Koskin, roll 1.
12.
Nothing happens. Another day's travel goes by smoothly.
You want to do one?
If there's anything you guys are wanting to do in particular during any of these days,
Yeah.
feel free to
I think we're
voice
trying
it.
to-
I'm just going to kind of be, it's just, you have a direct path where you're going to, so it's going to kind of be
Man, traveling in the Underdark
efficient.
babies.
Don't.
Nothing's
Why you
happening.
gotta say that? Why you gotta say that?
Why you gotta say it like that?
For exactly that reason.
Hey, Will, roll me a D20.
17. Something.
17. Roll another D20 for me.
19.
Uh-oh.
This is getting progressively worse.
19 butt leeches.
That's how many times we're gonna die.
19.
Yeah.
Kills us.
Let's
Resurrects
see.
us,
Roll me
kills us again.
D4.
Roll a D4.
Yes.
2.
2 butt leeches. Or times 2 the amount of butt leeches.
Sorry, re-roll that D4. Can't be a 2.
1.
Okay. As you guys are traveling during this day, while you're out ahead, you happen upon a group that is moving towards your guys' path in this cavern.
No.
You can see out ahead of you. There is no light, but you can hear them.
Oh. What do they sound like?
Well, it's just Candle right now, because he's scouting out ahead.
Do they sound like
like
true
people?
dwarves?
They sound like adventurers or.
Give me a perception check.
7.
7? Yeah, sounds like people moving.
Is their speech
Some sort of cart.
evil in nature?
Is there a lot of?
Yeah.
You do hear muffled in the cavern and evil, 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 evil.
And that's why I would consider us the main villains of this campaign, is the only thing I hear them say. I guess I will. So I can't tell like what language they're speaking or anything?
It's very few words. It's mostly just movement.
Okay.
But it doesn't seem like a scuttling movement. There's somewhat of a more slithery movement, but most of it seems like footsteps.
I guess I'll just stay where I am. Like, tuck
Okay.
myself to the side of the tunnel and stay where I am, relying on my
But aren't they heading towards us?
Gloomstalker nature. Just to see.
Yeah, exactly. So he won't have to deal with them. They'll run into you.
I just stay perfectly still and they walk by and I go, that's someone else's problem.
If you tuck into the cavern wall to the side, give me a advantaged stealth.
At advantage stealth is 24.
All right, you tuck away invisibly into the cavern wall, and walking through, you see a total of 5 deep gnomes and one of the giant lizards that seems to have multiple saddlebags kind of strewn across its back, moving through the cavern.
Well,
I forget. Are deep gnomes
armed like a mining? Did they look like a mining expedition, or are they like armed?
3 of the 5 seem armed and armored. The other 2 are armed with like small picks or knives, but don't seem to be wearing armor. They look capable, but not. They're not like. I don't know. 3 of them look like they're to some level warriors. The packs don't seem to be like overladen with gemstones or anything like that. The packs seem to have a variety of things in them.
Well, I guess highway robbery is out of the question then. I guess I will step out and light a candle and reveal myself.
They just emerge
guess-
from a candlelight. It's like, that's
A candle lights from nowhere and you appear, and gasping back, the group of them, the lizard kind of turning and twisting suddenly. One of the deep gnomes in armor who has a hammer, like a kind of weapon on his hip that's a hammer on one end and a pick on the other end, kind of pulling it out, steps in front, and will be like, "Who are you?"
I'm an Underdark scout for a party of adventurers. Just I heard your party coming and just wanted to get eyes on before I revealed myself. Apologize
You're one
for
of
the
those
fright.
shadow-touched Skygators, then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you encountered many like me then?
Never, just heard stories.
Is it true you drink the blood of babes?
How do you get that? Seems useful.
Would I know?
You'd have to have done it to learn. So you can choose whether you fully remember your process of becoming this or not.
I mean, I'll kind of explain what I know, I guess. Like,
Okay.
that I was trained by another one and kind of what some of the process and stuff is like. It is useful.
Okay.
It's no good against drow,
Yeah.
but
Might have to find me another one of you that can do that for me. We're on our way to the Skygate city. Traders.
they seem like they kind of know their route anyway, but I'll kind of just outline the path we took to get down here.
Do you tell them about the octopus?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Okay.
That's like the most eventful thing that's happened apart from the jelly.
Yeah. It's the only living thing. Or no, you killed it. Sorry, I forgot. You guys didn't walk around it. You killed it, so you don't have to tell them that. Whether you want to or not, it's up to you. So the path is still like, good to know the path is recently cleared. We
You up
I
for-
doubt there's.
Oh, good.
What are you? Is there anything you're needing down here?
We
Desperate adventurers pay more than townsfolk.
we're doing all right so far. We've got a lead we're chasing down. You fellas up from Slofton?
Aye, we've been there. Not super recent. My hometown, and his.
Still standing then, I suppose.
Always.
We might have to, we might be making a trek down there at some point. Got some...
Step lightly. Fire salamanders are particularly active this time.
Good to know.
Travel safe.
You too.
Your group is behind you.
Mm-hmm.
Very well. They'll move on. And a little while later, you guys will run into this group and they'll say that they ran into your scout, all's well, and just try and move past you unless there's anything you're trying to say to them.
No, I don't think so.
Nope.
Anybody got anything to say? Some deep gnomes?
Nope.
They eye you like somewhat like they're reserved. They don't seem to trust you, but they don't seem aggressive towards you. They're like, we ran into a group of adventurers in the Underdark. That could be a wide variety of types of people. So we don't want to get ourselves in trouble. But yeah, another day's travel.
Sweet.
Go ahead and somebody roll it.
All right.
Here's going.
Somebody.
Fuck.
Roll me.
19.
19.
Roll me 2 more d20s.
2.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this is where 2 things happen, and Erickson has to somehow combine them into one thing.
A 4 and another 19. I gotta stop rolling that die. It's too good.
Okay. Weird. Okay. Yeah. No. I guess there's a whole lot of them. Roll me a d4.
Uh-oh. A D4. 2. 19.
Reroll it.
Reroll.
Oh, it can't be
3. 19 more giant octopus.
Interesting.
I hate that.
You,
More deep.
Candle, you enter into a cavern as you're scouting ahead. Again, not lit, and you can hear, and it's a fairly infested fungal cavern, and you can hear somebody scuttling around down in a field of the mushrooms.
I guess I'll try and get eyes on whatever's scuttling around down there.
Okay, you start moving in towards it. Go ahead and roll me a stealth.
I'm going to spend my inspiration and re-roll that.
Okay.
Much better. 22.
22. As you're moving through, you do make a little bit of noise, and you can see kind of like a head pop out of the field of mushrooms. It's kind of, you make noise, but the thing that pops out doesn't seem to really be able to tell which direction, and it definitely can't see you. But you can see a head kind of popping out, and it looks like a Durgar. Although his eyes are both kind of a milky white, and he's got some sort of fungus growing out of the side of his head and ear, out of his ear on the right side, and he kind of looks up out of the cavern, like a little bit like manically and confused, and then starts scuttling. He goes back in, and the kind of weird noises start again in the cavern.
Is this why true dwarves don't like mushrooms?
Yes, like a stunted man.
So he's not like, I mean, he himself is clearly infested, but he's not like one of the myconid spies we've been seeing.
He seems less, he doesn't seem as like zombie shambling, like he seems a bit more frantic, and it's something different, it would seem. Or at least if he is that, he's not fully become that sort of thing yet.
Can I try the Umber Hulk mimicry trick again? See if that scares him off?
Sure. Go for it. Deception. Advantage because of your mimicry trait, I believe.
Wow. That's statistically unlikely.
Wow.
22.
22. The scuttle, like there's kind of like that, like kind of rapid, scuttly, weird noise coming from that, and then it just stops, and it gets eerily quiet in the cavern.
Oh, he's more of
It's
the...
like he's freezing.
Yeah, he's more of the... It's more of the prey animal response of just the, like, if I don't move... Well, see.
Could you do an angry Umber Hulk sound and then like throw a rock at it?
I mean, it seems like there's just one of this guy, so... even if he attacks the caravan, I will probably be okay. Unless the mushrooms also gave him superpowers.
Eye lasers. How did mushrooms give you eye lasers? Eye lasers!
Where can we get mushrooms like that? These things are going to be a hot ticket item in Skygate.
Unfortunately, the downside is that you can only yell eye lasers and you're irrationally angry.
He will slowly start peering out of the mushrooms and looking around again. Still can't see you, so doesn't seem to notice you.
Yeah, I'll report back to the column, but I think we should just press on. I think we'll be alright. He seems to be the one of them.
You do kind of have to move through this cavern to continue on the path that you know.
We should probably put on, if we could pause, could I do a myconid examination with my field book, with the mushroom.
You'd have to get into the cavern first
Okay.
to like examine those mushrooms.
Maybe
You
we
would,
should
you
put
can
the
certainly
boots
do
on,
so.
or the masks on. I'm gonna mask up
Yeah.
because it's
Okay.
supposed to protect us from spores. So I'd
I
recommend.
too will mask up.
Yeah.
Probably not a terrible idea.
I have to like unlock my helmet, take it off, put the mask on, put the helmet on, and unlock it. But yeah,
Hey, better
Okay.
that than brain controlled.
yeah.
You guys take the time to get your masks on, then you head into the cavern with the fungus. It's pretty impossible with the cart to be moving super stealthily, so he will hear you coming. Entering
he's
into
there.
this cavern. What was that?
But we know he's there. So we're
Yeah.
like,
Entering into this cavern, he doesn't immediately stir or poke out from anywhere. It's fairly quiet in here, and you don't see him immediately as you walk in.
okay. Can I identify any of these mushrooms? Are they like a variety of varieties, or are they? Is there one?
Go ahead and roll me the advantage nature.
Advantage nature. 15.
Most of what's in this book is specifically for the like eat or don't eat kind of stuff. It's kind of more of a culinary take. A lot of these are don't eats for a variety of reasons. A lot of them would be toxic to eat, but you don't notice anything like any other ones in particular that stand out. None of them seem like something useful to like take and use to eat or to light or whatever. No
Okay.
fire lichen or anything like that. No brittle bark.
Fair enough. Just wanted to see. It's like, hey, that one rots your brain. You're like, oh no.
You know that there are some of these that are toxic to eat,
Right.
but you don't know of any that are like mind altering. No loopy shrooms that you can identify from this grouping. And slowly, kind of timidly walking out, you'll see this gray dwarf with these kind of glossy white eyes, and again, it's like a chunk of the top corner of the right side of his head and out of his ear hole on that side. There's like a kind of group of spores growing upwards, and he's going to like slowly walk out, glancing and looking at all of you.
Howdy.
Hello.
What can we help you with?
Nothing, I suppose. We need nothing.
Well, we're just passing through.
Alrighty then. See you later, Tater.
May I share camp with you?
No.
Don't think so, bud. We're just moving on through.
You could stay
Don't
for
think
just
we
a
will.
little while. Very lonely in this cave.
We're in a big hurry.
Yeah,
We only have ourselves.
yeah, we're moving on. So appreciate it, but we're gonna keep moving.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Yeah. Drop.
You
drop,
guys are
drop.
starting to like ride on
Yeah.
past him. Okay. He'll just kind of blankly stare and watch as you guys ride off.
Yeah.
It's gonna be one of those
He's
things where we-
for the mushrooms. Can I identify the
I'd
mushroom
rather
that's on
not
his
live
head?
through a Twilight Zone episode, so.
It's gonna be the Baldur's Gate thing. where he
With
just
your
appears in
previous
our
check, you don't recognize that specific type of mushroom. It's not anything you've seen.
Okay. Could I make a note of its like? You don't have to come up with it like on the spot, but could I make a note of its like physical description so I could like
Yeah,
give it to
sure.
a professional later?
It's kind of long, thin, pale, with swooping caps at the top.
Fair enough. Yeah, we'll shuffle
He-
on through the old mushroom forest.
His eyes and his head just follows you all as you ride away. He looks disappointed.
Yeah.
That's too bad.
All right, you continue on.
We're like, hey, mushroom man, we're just gonna go. We're just going.
It's gonna be a no from me, dog.
You
It's
can
gonna be a
stay.
no.
I'm very lonely.
Okay, I've got.
Hey everybody,
I'm kind of worried.
roll
he's
me
got cultivated
another.
mushrooms or something. You know.
Roll me another d20.
Somebody else roll it. I rolled.
Justin, you wanna go?
Sure.
You haven't gotten a roll in a minute.
20.
Oh.
Roll me 2 more of those.
Nice.
Statistically unlikely if you guys get as many things.
5 and 3.
5 giant butt slugs, or
And 3 smaller ones.
and 3.
Three smaller ones. 5 whoppers.
And 5 more whoppers.
What was the second? What was the second number?
3.
3.
That's such a good video. Hi, welcome to Burger King. Would you like to try our chicken nugget meal? Fuck no. Can I get a chicken nugget meal?
Bruh.
As you're scouting ahead, you enter into a cavern and you see something like just slumped over in the middle of the cavern ahead of you.
Oh
No light.
Something
Large sized.
large sized, huh?
Would you say the size of a horse?
Roughly.
no. What about a, what did we say? A caterpillar slug? A butt slug?
I approach. I want to only approach close enough to figure out what it is, and if it's
Okay.
alive. Well, first let's figure out what it is.
Approach. Go ahead and roll me a perception. You'll be able to tell what it is no matter what, but depending on how well you roll, will depend on how close you have to get.
24.
That's a dead carrion crawler, or at least a carrion crawler that's not moving.
Yikes.
Does it look like it's been attacked?
You don't see any obvious physical signs of damage, but you're still a good distance away from it.
I'm gonna poke it. Someone's gonna come explode out of it.
The double carrier crawler.
Can you throw a rock at it? Just-
Is there any obvious place in this cavern for like something to be hiding if like this was an ambush or?
No, this section it kind of like recedes a little bit lower, like you're kind of downward angling, but then it slopes back up. It's really more of a path than a big open cavern. So, I mean, the swoop back upward, there could be something up at the top of it that'd be out of your line of sight right now, but it would be in your line of sight once you got down to the lower part of this.
I'm going to shoot it with my crossbow and just make sure it doesn't explode into something horrible or whatever else,
What
Okay,
other nasty
you
things?
fire a crossbow bolt, no roll required, like you can hit it, eventually you'll hit it with a bolt, and it just thumps into it. It does not move or react.
Okay, I guess at that point I'll actually go down and take a look at it.
Okay, you kind of walk up to it and kind of go down that little sloping path. As you get up close to it to take a look, roll me a Constitution saving throw.
That is not one of my saving throws. 8.
8. As you go down there, you're like looking at it, and like your eyes kind of get a little watery. And as you like take a breath in, the air around you is caustic and burning in the back of your throat as some sort of strange gas seems to have settled at the bottom of this passageway. You will take 6 poison damage and are currently poisoned.
Retreat.
Well, masks on, everyone. And try and get through really quickly so that the goats take as little damage as possible.
Mask up the goats.
Well, maybe it's flammable. Maybe we can just blast it, blow it away.
It was like a gust of wind.
Oh, gust of wind would also be.
I only have
The
three,
damage
bro.
doesn't keep happening, but the lingering effect of being poisoned does stay. It's like you back and run away. You feel like you're still feeling unwell.
That's druid shit.
That's druid shit. I mean, I'm fine if somebody wants to try and see if it's flammable. I mean, from range, or if we want to just try and mask up and get through it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just worried about the goats.
Yeah, if they die, we're screwed. So
Is it just can we keep to a higher side of the cave kind of thing to get through? Do we
It's
have to go
a
to the
path that kind of goes down and back up. So it seems like if you don't want to have to try and find a path to circumvent around the path you know is the right one, you'll have to go through this area. But if you're going back to regroup with them to tell them about this and then moving up to the cavern together.
Yep.
Around the time you get up back towards that, roll me another Constitution save.
I may have.
15.
15. You kind of get like in a coughing fit, but nothing else seems to happen. You still have the poison condition, so you will have disadvantage on your checks. But you do not feel
Minor
well.
restoration.
How big is the low section?
Like how far across?
Yeah.
The pathway of the thing itself is probably about 20 feet, like side to side.
So you can use that.
The section that dips down, the area that you could guesstimate the smoke or gas would be in, is probably 40 feet long. 30 feet, 40 feet long.
I can kind of sort of get the goats through.
How kind of sort are we talking?
Use the force.
I can lift the goats with the force, assuming they're not larger than large-sized creature.
Be the
What about
first.
the
And
wagon?
then it would just be like a few of us would have to pull the wagon through with the gas mask.
I can do that with. I can summon a spectral steed.
Oh.
That could pull the cart.
I can
if you-
with one use of telekinetic movement, I can move them 30 feet. So they
You
would
could
only
probably
go
get them across. It's kind of if you think that you'll like how high up this gas is setting,
Yeah.
because the cave to like the top itself is taller than Candle is, and he went down into it and had this affect him. So there's a chance if you go like just the right trajectory, you could float them over the pocket where this gas is sitting.
Yeah.
It'll just be how confident you are that that's where it's sitting.
That's what I would try to do, is just
Doesn't-
float them as high as I could to get to the other side.
The old
There's a chance that could work. You're just not sure where the gas is.
I will lesser restore him.
to get
Cast Lesser Restoration.
Yeah.
Okay. When he does, your poison condition will go away.
Hooray.
Your cough will subside.
You wait.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to try that, we can try it. And while he's floating across, I'll ritual cast Spectral Steed to hook up to the cart. Because Spectral Steeds don't need no breath.
So I guess we unhook the goats, and I will try to lift them as high as I can.
Telekinesis
over the
them
mass.
across. I mean, you can just do that with a large-sized creature, right? There's no roll required.
As long as the creature's willing, which,
Okay.
as long as we.
Yeah, they're willing. They
How
trust
much
you
of a
guys.
dick do you want to be about it?
I can move them 30
Not gonna be that big of a
I
dick.
can explain to
And
them
if you
what's
float
about
them
to
across
true.
the top section, it will be outside of the smoke, so the
Hey.
gas. You'll be able to get them across safely. And if you all wear your masks and use Spectral Steed to get the cart across, you can kind of regroup on the other side and make it through this area.
Nice.
It does take up one of my psionic dice to do it twice. So
Okay.
And now we've got a wall of poison gas guarding our back.
Perfect. All right, and you guys can roll me another d20.
I'll do it. I haven't rolled one in a minute. 16.
God.
16, you say. Roll me another d20.
2. Ugh, shit.
You can get your spell slot back.
Oh. Also, I didn't even. I marked it down like 5 game days ago for something else. For my spiritual weapon. And I just never unmarked it.
Right.
Up ahead, you get to a section that has a kind of cliff edge front to it, like like you get to a part where the path, like you can see the rest of the cavern is up higher above you. It is probably about, to be specific, it is exactly 30 feet up that you need to go. You can see a rolled up rope ladder at the top that's pinned in place.
Oh, I can get my crow friend to go unpin it.
Okay. Going up there, it seems like it's rolled and pinned down, and a beak of a crow is not strong enough to pull. It's like nailed into
how
place.
high is this up?
30 feet.
30 feet up.
Slide whistle.
Oh, we have the slide
yeah.
whistle too. Forgot. I was like, I can just put somebody up there.
We also got a climbing kit. But
Yeah.
if we can just magically lift people up, but
Yeah.
what's the point?
Slide. Yeah. Absolute slide whistle
Yeah,
of
it is.
levitation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoop, whoop. You can go up there with a full-size person's strength that's easy enough to pull these pins out, roll the ladder down. However, getting the cart up here is another issue altogether.
Well, we can
The
telekinetically
goats you
lift the
can float up. The goats you can telekinesis up. The cart itself will have a hard time getting up this.
How far away from the place?
It's an
are we?
older car.
We need to build a winch.
From the lab, you guys are about, you think probably moving at your current pace, between 2 and 3 days away.
I don't think leaving the goats for.
No, I just
a
was
week.
thinking.
Did you ever do like Tensor's floating disc or whatever?
I do have tensors floating disc.
Oh, there we go.
Let's see what it.
I think it can only carry like 100 pounds.
Yeah. Oh, it's 500 if I remember correctly. But
Still
I think it's
probably
too
less than
Yeah,
a fully
500
laden
pounds.
cart.
Yeah, I think it's only 10 feet.
Yeah, but you could balance.
Oh, that's true. If I hit it like center mass, can I lift it with?
We could take everything out of the cart, put it in the portable hole to get it up to the top, and then just lift the cart up with.
Ritual magic.
It will
code.
take a little extra time. If you use Tinter's floating disc and he uses his telekinesis, though, with your powers combined, I'll say you can boost it up there. But it will be like unloading then reloading the cart, and it will kind of take some extra time to do so.
Take like half
Tensor's
days.
floating disc specifically cannot cross an elevation change of more than 10 feet.
Damn.
You could get it up to 10 feet, and then you have 20 feet more. Yeah, you have 20 feet more to make it. The telekinesis alone will not move the cart.
I cast a guidance on the cart. Could we? You can make.
Cool.
Could we use the slide whistle to bring us up, and in turn, like tie ourselves around the cart and just bring it?
Oh, and try to pull it up.
Yeah.
Oh, what if we get it like upright on the wall, and then we hook up like ropes, and we all like pull, and like it wheels it up the.
You could use Tinter's floating disc, I'd say, to get it like wheels up against there between telekinesis and that, and then try and use ropes to pull it like wheeling up along
Yeah, we
there.
can hook it to the goats as well to like help.
Oh, hook them
like,
to the goats as well?
Yeah.
Sure. I want one. Whoever has the best athletics, roll it with advantage.
All right.
So
6.
cart it up here, and I'll have the goats.
I have a
help.
6 as well.
Pretty good.
What's yours?
Well, yeah, but who is
Who has
the
six?
best? Oh yeah, so we've all got 6.
So,
So,
yeah, so-
somebody roll it with advantage.
Got you.
Gosh,
Alright.
What am I doing?
Rolling in advance. Rolling at
Let the,
Athletics.
let the human be useful.
Well, yeah, for what?
We're pulling the cart up by putting its wheels up against the cliff face, and then hauling it up with the goats and all of our bronzy boys, beefy boys.
It's a total of 18.
All right. Between all of you pulling and the goats, you are able to wheel it up this cliff edge and get it over the edge.
Getting it down will be much
Successful.
easier.
Yeah, getting it down.
It does
is way-
still add a little extra time because you're having to load and
we'll hit
unload,
this
but you're able to
thing-
do so.
We'll hit this thing coming the other way down the tunnel just at full speed. Just whipping the goats down the tunnel the whole way, and we'll just launch right off.
Hopefully that's because we're being chased by something.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, but then we'll go through the poison gas really quickly as well, and hopefully we'll catch it every time.
Hold your breath.
Matty G, roll me a d20.
All right, here we go. 14.
14, you say. Roll me another d20. Good old tradition.
Wow. At least
10.
these last
You
few
guys
days getting
have a
two-
statistical likelihood to have
Interesting.
nothing happen,
Interesting.
and something happens every single time. What's the d20 roll? The second
10.
one? 10. Well, I got bad news for you, feller. You find a muck pit.
A muck pit.
You mucked up, bro.
You
How
dumb.
big
muck
is the muck pit?
It's 3 foot deep. Slimy muck.
Can I,
Muck is difficult terrain.
can I
and,
freeze the muck?
Can you freeze? It's a lot of muck.
Not with Ray of Frost, probably.
It's a whole cavern of muck. It's a real muck pit.
But it's just
You
difficult.
can all move through it. It's just slow and slimy and
Yeah, I was
gross.
gonna say
and
it's just
unpleasant.
difficult terrain, so we can just.
Damn.
If you guys want, you guys can make it through it. It'll
Yeah.
just again slow you down a little bit.
Doesn't
It's
affect
mucky.
me because I'm in my favorite terrain, the Underdark. I can cruise around this
You
muck pit
dash
all
through
day.
the muck. You were born in the muck pit. More than by it.
I'm at least like, well, it's just like everyone's like kind of like slogging through the muck pit. I'm just like cruising through.
Just another day in the Underdark.
Yeah.
I'll see
This
fellas on
ain't
the other side
this
of the
ain't my
muck.
first muck pit, feller.
That's how you become a drow or a Underdark Ranger. Is you just like roll around in a muck pit till you become one with the muck.
This stuff's real good for your skin.
One more d20 roll. Whoever wants to roll it.
Oh, who wants
Let
the
me
last
do
one?
it because
I did one good,
All right, let's see.
and you guys kept rolling bad ones. Which means this is totally a 19.
Crit.
20!
Let me do it.
Only
you
two
idiot.
more d20s.
I knew that was going to happen.
Two more d20s. It's two muck pits.
I made that 20 happen. All
Double
purpose.
muck pit all the way across.
Double muck.
It's muck pits all the way down.
That one was a 1.
1. Okay. Interesting.
And that one was a
Roll
2.
me another d20.
1 and 2, Erickson.
1 and 2.
Making looking at your charts easy. Probably.
You're welcome.
Reroll that second one.
Is it because it's muck pit again?
7.
Okay.
It's muck pit and drow in a hole. So it's just drow in a muck pit.
You have to move through another boneyard. This boneyard seems to be overgrown with mushrooms.
No!
Your worst nightmare.
And quite a few of these it seems to be, looking at it, it seems like this boneyard is somewhere where some sort of like conflict happened. Like there's quite a few humanoid bones, very, very old, and it seems like their remains have been a breeding ground for these mushrooms.
Well, cats, somebody use detect magic while we're moving through here in case any magical artifacts have survived.
All right. Any magic?
There's no magic.
Okay.
Well, actually, let me double check.
Oh,
That was.
I'm like, no, wait a
No,
second.
there is no magic. There is no magic.
I don't see anything magic. Wait. No.
No.
Doesn't seem to be anything magic in this musty boneyard. The name of my backup character for the Pathfinder campaign, Musty Boneyard.
It's at least a. Dramatic set piece to
That's
be
true.
arriving at the
Yeah.
abandoned cosmic horror laboratory,
That's true.
wherein they, a laboratory for making cosmic horrors. Right.
And if you guys aren't doing anything else in this musty boneyard, moving through it and getting to an area clear of it, a decent ways clear of it, so you can set up camp, you find that camp has already been set up. There is a couple of tents here that seem like they've been long abandoned.
Uh-oh. I look for a suspicious captain's log.
There is no captain's log, no black box.
Damn. What
Indeed,
could happen?
suspicious. Can we tell anything about the people who left the camp by kind of?
They're very dead.
Make a survival check.
They're well, yes, obviously, or at the very least, very experimented on.
Right.
12.
12. It seems like this was a camp for probably 3 to 4 individuals, and you can tell at least one of them was small-sized, halfling gnome, something along those lines. Just with like the sleeping cots and stuff. It seems like 2 medium and 1 small-sized person could have comfortably slept in this camp.
Do I know anything about Vickleroy's previous expedition that went missing?
You know that it was bigger than 3.
Okay.
It was much bigger than 3 to 4. It was probably closer to like your guys' group size.
So this probably isn't Vickleroy's old expedition. Unless only 3 of them made it down here.
All right. Well, we'll set up our own camp, as it were, so that we're fully rested when we attempt our escapade.
Okay. You guys are able to get a long rest here, and no roll required, as not very far from this place at all. You will open out into a cavern that has a doorway set into it. Less of a doorway, more of a sphincter. For those of you who played BG3, there is it looks like bound tight muscle kind of ceiling in a kind of arched doorway, and it's set into a kind of cavern wall, but it's going up along the sides of this clenched muscle door frame is a kind of like works of wall that are made out of something that kind of is almost crustacean shell like, but a deep dark gray color.
Gross. Well, you guys all, everyone as prepared as they're gonna be. There's gonna be some shenanigans here.
So we've arrived.
We have.
That's great.
You got some temporary buffs. Oh, I would like to.
We have
roll
arrived
for your
at the
basin.
bubble of the Underdark.
My basin.
Roll me a d12.
4.
4. Let's see what you got. With a 4, you get Korax the Ox and the ability to cast the spell Haste.
Oh, that could be really helpful.
Sir Dow Dramastanthian says, "Aha! This must be the place. Bring out the ball thing. Let's go in there."
Bring out your balls. There you go.
And Theogar goes, "Ooh, I'll get the orb out."
He's like my teddy bear.
"Oh, I was cuddling it." And he pulls out his orb. And it seems like the sphincter... I mean, I did this. The sphincter seems to acknowledge the ball. And as this orb is like presented in front of this muscle-based door, a sort of tendril kind of winds out from the top of the door. It looks like an elephant trunk, essentially, but kind of like a deep dark purple elephant trunk. And instead of like a snout at the front of it, it's one wide opening, and lots of thin little tendrils kind of extend out of that circular opening in the end of this trunk. And as he holds up the orb, the trunk kind of grips the orb, and the tendrils kind of wrap around and start to wind inside of the orb.
Why
and as it does so,
it's gotta be so stinking weird.
and it kind of raises up, and this tightly bound muscle sort of recedes and opens, allowing the door to open. You know that the door is only going to open for a short moment and close afterwards, so you have to move with all haste. Sir Daldramastanthian proudly walks into the building.
Yeah.
We wait just long enough for the door to close.
Have fun on your adventure.
You asked for this.
Go get him, buddy. I'll follow him in.
Okay.
We do the old
you guys-
squad shuffle.
Swords in
I assume you're just leaving the cart and the goats outside.
Yep. Listen.
Make
We're
a note
either
of-
back in 24 hours or we are not. So.
Make a note of where we parked.
Yep.
Take a picture of the parking sign, and I imagine it'd be a giant empty parking lot with one wagon and 2 goats out in the middle of it. It's like, man, I wish we'd written down where we parked.
And you all, I assume, no one's staying behind. You all walk in, and shortly after you do, the doorway reseals behind you, and you are left in darkness, unless you.
Now I feel
light.
like I should have stayed behind.
Yeah.
As soon as the door shuts, it's like I should have. I
I'm
should
gonna
have
cast
guarded the light.
dancing lights, so we have some lights.
Okay. There's some light
Probably
kind of
a good
hovering
idea.
around
I mean,
you all as you start
The
entering
wagon will
in.
be fine for
Is
24
there
hours.
a mall directory in front of us?
mall.
There is, like, right as you walk in, the,
You are
the,
here.
the
Ooh, food
roof, your goal, there's a marker on it. The walls and the ceiling seem to be made of that same sort of like crustacean shell, dark gray material. The floor is kind of like has a little bit of give to it. It's also kind of like a meaty, sort of fleshy material that the floor itself is made out of. It seems fairly soft, moving along it. And entering in, there is essentially like a small console right at the front of this place. It seems to be a roughly head-sized and shaped opening that has kind of tendrils that go along the side of it. It seem to be kind of mindlessly flicking and wisping around. And you can see inside, like the centerpiece there is like a kind of polished piece of something semi-transparent or clear.
I volunteer Thagar to stick his head in it.
I don't feel like I can allow. I can make that decision for him while he's gone.
got the psychic,
As tempted as I
He's
am.
got the psychic connection. It makes logical sense.
Yeah, it does. But I might wait for him to come
And
back before I
he's got
allow
the
him to
helmet
just stick his head
protect
in.
him from
That's
things
totally fair.
jumping in on his face.
I said it partially for the joke, but also partially because I do think he's just the best person to do it. But if anybody else would like to stick their head in the VR headset,
I like that we encounter something that's just like vaguely head sized, and it's just like, I'm not sticking my head in there. I'm not sticking my head in there. It's just like, we don't know that's what we have
One
to
other
do.
thing you
Everyone's just
do
here,
also
like,
notice is there is kind of going along the center of the roof and then turning and going and kind of stopping right next to this console. There is what looks like an exposed vein, essentially. Like it's like a like clear-ish, kind of reddish clear tube that goes along this thing that has like a slight sort of pinching, undulating motion in it. That kind of like haplessly
that's
happens
the
on the
vacuum
side.
tube that you put like your check in, and it.
There is an opening
at
at the bottom that looks like the flesh equivalent of a vacuum tube opening that's like at the bank would have.
yeah, but I don't want to do that with my brain.
It doesn't exactly connect to this weird face console, but it does open beside it.
Please insert brain here for entry to.
Kasi, you want to stick your head in the weird brain VR thing?
There's a VR thing?
Yeah. I bet it's super cool and works awesome with your cool psionic abilities.
There is a head-shaped... There appears to be a head-shaped console with tendrils wisping around it next to a fleshy vacuum tube system as you just enter into here.
I think it vacuums out your brain.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
The
The vacuum
tube is not
tube
connected to the
system
console.
is separate from the console.
Well, yeah, but it just deposits the brain out the side of the console, so then you can pick it up and put it in the vacuum tube.
Well, if anyone can control it, maybe I could.
That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. You have the special brain. Your bloodline has prepared you for this.
This is gonna be like that whole DLC for Fallout New Vegas, where your brain gets taken out, and the whole DLC is about you trying to get your brain back.
Big World Blues or Old World Blues.
And then you finally like find your brain, and you have to convince your brain to be put back in, because it's just like, listen here, you son of a bitch, you've been using chems and killing people and doing all this shit, and you're like, yeah, but the sound of a machine gun's pretty great stuff though, right? It's like, it is pretty great. It's like, we had some pretty sweet times though, didn't we, brain? And it's like, we did have some pretty sweet times.
Business call. Un momento. Snack break. Drink break.
Snack break.
Snack break. You're so old. We can't
We'll fix it in
go
post.
through one DnD session without taking work calls. Speaking of which, I need to check my email.
Adulthood sucks me. Ooh, that actually reminds me. I need to do something for work too. It's just to prove my time card. Yay, adulthood.
You want to do anything for work, or?
Okay.
No, I actually would like to never show back up to work ever
Yeah.
again, but there's
Okay.
When
Wait
give
till
me a
we all-
haircut for right now.
What?
Give me a haircut right now.
that. I mean, I'm fine doing it at the house. I just want to go back to Heroes.
Yeah.
Did you know what happened?
We do. Yeah,
You don't have to, we're on
always
recording right now, so you don't have to
ask
talk
me
about
about
it.
it first.
No, we're not technically recording.
Right now we're playing.
It
the
is
technical
recording,
things.
but I won't cut this. I won't cut this out. But yeah, you don't have to talk about it right now if you want to.
So, when you feel comfortable.
That's okay.
Maybe when some more details come out. Oh, the old mangy tango.
Yeah.
Mangy tango.
It's good. I've mentioned that I got one of those self-carbonating machines. So it's just been stuff like that for like a week straight of just like, oh, we got a big jug of mango passion fruit juice, and a big jug of grapefruit juice. So just a little bit of water and mix both of those and make a huge bottle and just like carbonate the whole thing. It's like, this is pretty awesome. Before too long here, I'm gonna start just throwing, like in the evenings, just throwing a shot of rum in there and then just like carbonating the whole thing. It's gonna be awesome. All right, there, Gar, go get your brain sucked out.
So I think Yeah, last we left, our brave hero was about to stick his head in the console. Yeah.
What if I put my head in the console with the helmet on?
I don't think that's gonna work. You bought the
It'll-
one
are you gonna
thing
try?
to help you with brain.
It'll be like like the chip not accepting on a credit card.
There's
Yeah.
an interference.
Cover the chip on your credit card with tinfoil and then try to stick it in the. It's like error.
No, that's how you get free money from the bank.
You jam it into
Genius.
the ATM, and the ATM just starts spitting out cash because it doesn't know what to do.
You just stick a thing of tinfoil in the card slot.
And whoever programmed that ATM did the fail condition is
The
just
fail
spit
is it
out
just
money.
shoots money.
If science fiction has taught me anything, it's like that's how doors and stuff work. It's like the facility has lost power.
That's
All of the
because of
prisoner cells are open,
That's
and it's
that's
just like
because of fire code.
this is a space prison for xenomorphs. Why do we need a fire code?
There is also
Fire
a
codes, let it
doorway
burn.
and a pathway you can move forward with. So if
Right.
you don't want, you don't have to use the console.
You don't have to stick your brain. But I'm saying it was it's a hole made for you.
You don't think your helmeted head will fit inside of the console. You think the helmet will have to come off your head to actually go inside.
I think it's worth trying.
Yeah.
It's just like a control console, right? The vacuum tubes aren't connected to it. You
Yes. Yes.
The vacuum tube is separate from it. There are tendrils that come around the outside of where the head would go in that seem to be kind of listfully kind of whipping around it. And it itself has a kind of semi-transparent glass sort of front, smooth textured thing, but the surrounding is more of a
Maybe
like
you can access
muscular
their
weird
database
thing.
and find
Be
whatever.
ready
it
to
is.
pull me out of there.
You got it.
I will remove
Yeah.
my helmet.
Unpadlocking your
worry.
helmet?
This is gonna be like GTFO. Don't worry, buddy. We got you covered. We say, running away down the
Running the
hallway.
other direction.
I will unlock my helmet and remove it and put my head in there.
Okay, you put your head in the console, and as you like get close enough to where you're like just like about half of your head is inside of it, the tendrils quickly wrap around the back of your head and press it, forcing your head, kind of locking it into place inside of the console.
I expected
Roll
that.
me
I will just let it happen.
a D20, a proficient intelligence check.
Proficiency and intelligence.
Yes.
I have inspiration. No. 13.
You feel your mind connect with something inside of this, and it's essentially this kind of like smooth, polished whatever it is in front of you kind of lights up, and a lot of strange symbols and sigils kind of start moving and flashing across what's essentially a screen in front of you.
Okay. I'll like look at one of the symbols and think at it real hard.
Okay, you comprehend that sigil is saying Sector 13.
I'll do that to some of the other ones. I'll try and read the
It's,
whole thing.
you can see that these are all, like, looking at these sigils in front of you, it seems to be different sectors of the facility.
What happens if I try to like select one of them?
If you kind of focus in on one, it will expand out into essentially a list of other sigils and runes.
So we're looking for the tadpole.
What do those say?
Which number do you settle on? It seems like there's a total of 25 sectors.
Start with number 1.
Okay, Sector 1 it seems to be it's saying like it essentially it lists assets and occupants.
Erickson did exactly what I did back in the day, which was GTFO was like, this is a rad way to like build a dungeon in a tabletop RPG. I'm going to force a bunch of players to go through something like this. And we've been playing enough GTFO that Erickson was like, perfect. We've got a guy on the console now.
Well, my
Under assets, nothing is listed. Under occupants, it is listed. You can see 7 things listed. One is deemed. Your understanding, it's runes that you don't understand, but when you focus on them, they make sense to you for some reason. One of them is unrecognized. 6 of the 7 are unrecognized potential threat, and one is unrecognized psionically active.
All right. Start listing ammo packs.
Yeah.
And,
Well, first thing I'm gonna do is search for more terminals.
and any keys, so we know where those are. So we start planning out our map.
Can I speak out loud while my head's in this thing, and can I hear that
Yeah.
outside?
You don't know. You
gonna-
guys see this thing is like firmly grasping the back of his head and forcing his head into this
I'm
pocket,
gonna
but he
say,
doesn't seem to
"Can
be
you all hear me?"
freaking out.
Out
You hear a
loud.
muffled, "Can you all hear me?"
Yes.
Speak louder.
Yes.
I like tap your shoulder a couple
Can I
times.
hear them?
You can't really. This thing is wrapped around you, and it's like the muscle membrane that it's made out of is kind of sealing around the side of your head. There's enough of a gap that you can kind of mumble words out, but like this section of your face up is like firmly pressed in here, and your ears are kind of covered by this muscle, so hearing you're not really able to do.
But you tapped on my shoulder?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna tell you, start taking notes. I'm gonna go through the sectors and list the information I can get from each one.
Okay. Listing through, it seems like there's a I can't really give you all 25 sectors worth of stuff. That'll take the next 2 hours.
Right.
If you're like trying to go until you can find, you can see that there's a couple different sectors where there is like, good. Give me another proficient intelligence check for how well you're going to navigate through this and find relevant information.
Some guidance for that.
Oh. Give him the old butt slap magic.
11.
11.
You're not a 3-year-old.
What you can find with an 11 is that there is at multiple different places under occupants, you can find like in sector 9, in sector 14, it will say like occupants and something will be listed, and the thing that is listed as psionically active lesser being. There is under like the assets listed, there's all sorts of different stuff that as you like focus in still doesn't make a whole lot of sense to you. It seems to be describing materials. It's like you can translate it, but you're translating into a word you don't know in your own language. It's like it seems to be different pieces and parts and like alchemical solutions and stuff like that that just don't, you understand what they are, but you don't know what they are and what they do. And so it seems like there's those scattered in all sorts of different labs. You can find that it is that enhanced tadpole, essentially, is what the term you can get is. One of those is listed in Sector 17.
Well,
And as you kind of focus in on that, there seems to be essentially a prompt that will come up to you that will be like essentially asking if this is an item you're looking for.
could we just have it hand delivered to us through the vacuum tube system?
That'd be convenient.
I mean, I will tell it, yes, that's what I'm looking for.
Is this, and it'll be like another prompt required in your current position.
This seems like a trap.
I don't think I'm supposed to say no. Yes?
Retrieving. Essentially the Eldritch Rune equivalent of retrieving ... and then erroring out, it will say that tube system damage in sector 14, preventing movement of this asset. And there's kind of like the tube system kind of like undulates more loudly and
No.
makes a bit of a like thumping noise as it tries and like thump, 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 and then like stops. And then there's like a alert that pulls you out, and then it refocuses you onto sector 4, much closer to you all in sector 1. And it says the thing up, it's like movement detected, and it says occupant subject 5 in sector 4 moving towards your sector. And with that, that is where we will stop this episode of Skygate.
Well,
Log out! Log out!
shotgun turret. throw a little goo down in front of it. Maybe put up a couple of landmines.
Oh boy. Good stuff.
Thank you, everybody, for watching, and we will see you in the next episode of Skygate.
That's